Hey everyone, I hope you're doing well. So now we'll just start off with the last video, which is basically going over the code and how to build this chatbot basically. Okay, so here you have your main.py and here you have your tools.py. So we'll start with main.py. Here you can see what we're doing is we're basically starting off with, I think this is good, yeah. Basically starting off with all the important imports and then we set up our environment variables. So we got to load the env file and then retrieve Google API key from the environment file. So we're going to do that. And then we'll proceed with the LLM configuration part. So here the LLM that we chose, it's Gemini because it's free. So here I've initialized the LLM Gemini with the chat Google Generative AI library, which is inside LangChain Google Gemini. So that's the library, setting up temperature, passing the API key as well to it. So the LLM Gemini is good and running, all good. And now what we're going to do here is we're going to test the LLM connection and check for its basic functionality. How are we going to do that? We're going to pass a test prompt saying, who are you? And then we're going to invoke the Gemini and then basically pass the test prompt and then check out its response, which is Gemini test response. So here we'll start off with that. So up until this point, line number 52, let's see what's the scenario. So this is a basic chatbot, right? So this should just simply pass who are you and get a response from LLM Gemini for that matter. So we should be able to see that pop up over here. So that's up till line number 52. And that's how you basically build a local chatbot connected to an LLM. So here you can see we got a response saying Gemini test response. I am a large language model trained by Google. Thank you, Google. Okay, let's get started. Next, we're going to define a data structure over here. So I'm using something called as Pydantic model. It basically helps in defining the structure of responses. And I want the structure of response to be very good, you know. So I want the response to be structured very well. There's a reason behind this. I will get back to that at the end of the video. So here I have defined the response. What I want is country. I want list of cities, number of days, budget, itinerary, activities to do. Both of these would be in a list as well. And then I have set up a parser. This parser comes from Pydantic library. It's basically to make your output responses better and well formatted. And then I'm passing the response over here to it. So basically, I'm going to use this parser and make sure that every time the LLM gives me an output, the output looks like this. Next, here we're going to define the system prompt. So I'm sure most of you would have seen system prompts on multiple occasions by now because GenAI, I think it's been with us since over a year. So here is a system prompt, right? With using chat prompt template, you're a vacation planner agent. Use tools if needed, then respond in the following JSON format. I've also given it a JSON format, which is very close to our response over here. And then I say only output JSON, no explanations. I just want a simple output. And then you place hold with a chat history, human query, and then you place hold something called as agent scratchpad. So all of this is additional stuff. You don't need to worry about it now for this basic template version. And so here is tool setup. So here I'm going to define available tools, right? And as you recall, our vacation planning agent comes with three tools: search tool, using DuckDuckGo search, wiki tool using Wikipedia API, and the last is save tool, which will basically save the data into a text file. So here are the three tools. So these tools are actually defined and imported from tools.py. So it comes from here. So what I'm going to do is now let's go over tools.py. But if you see the search tool, right, you will find it should be there in the imports. Yeah. So from tools.py, I imported all three search tools. So let's go into tools.py. Here it is. This is a custom tools module. This module contains custom tools that enhances the AI agent's capabilities, of course. So web search functionality using DuckDuckGo, Wikipedia information retrieval, and data persistence with timestamped outputs. So which is a save tool, right? Basically. So these tools enable the agent to gather real-time information and save the research results. So that's very important, right? I mean, if you use a standard chat GPT LLM or something, it might have outdated information. But because you're using an agentic AI solution which tries to search for real-time information, what if there's a forest fire or something in Mexico? Then the agentic AI will be able to tell us in real time. However, other LLM tools which are trained up to a specific year, 2024 or 2025, will not be able to give real-time answers. So that's one more plus point of Agentic AI. So in tools.py, again, important imports. This is the data persistent tool, which basically saves information to text. It has an input of data, and then it basically gives an output of research output.txt. That's about it. Um, Here you can get the current timestamp. Here you can format the data in with the timestamp, and then here basically you're going to open the file and write the data into the text file, and we're going to print saying data successfully saved to the given file. Then next we have the save tool. So save tool is where you pass the function save to text, which we defined over here, and this save tool will have it'll be called with save to text function, and it has a description, saves the research output to a text file with a timestamp. So this tool over here is basically from LangChain. It's a wrapper for the save function. This allows the agent to use the save functionality. So basically the important part here is this library tool. This is what connects the the LLM with several tools. So next is the web search tool. This initializes DuckDuckGo search engine for real-time web searches. This provides current information about destinations, attractions, and travel details. So here you have DuckDuckGo search run. So this is basically another library that we're calling, and we are instantiating it. And then in case of search tool, we're just passing the function search.run, which is definitely available inside this package over here. And this is basically the search tool to do a DuckDuckGo search. We have a description for it as well. And last is Wikipedia. In case of Wikipedia, you have to configure Wikipedia API wrapper with specific parameters. So looked over its documentation. Well, it's important. So this is how we have to code for it. You have to pass in the top K results, and then there are some character maximum limit that needs to come into the picture. This is definitely for rate limits, because you're calling the Wikipedia API tool, you might hit the rate limit, right? So that's important. And then here you're creating the Wikipedia search tool as well. So these are the tools that we're creating over here. If you go into the main.py file, we're able to import these tools. And after importing these tools, which was over here, we go ahead with the last part, which is basically the agent creation. Here you call the create tool calling agent. So this is a function. And here you pass the LLM, the prompt, and the tools. Just look at how awesome this is. Python makes it so beautiful. You pass the Gemini LLM, you pass the prompt, and you pass the tools, and then you mix all of it up, and you get a good solution. So that's what it is. Here you can get creative. Instead of Gemini, you can throw in ChatGPT, or you can throw in Claude if you have the credits, right? And then you create the agent executor that manages the agent's execution flow. So this is basically the same thing almost all over again. This is basically the agent executor, and this agent executor has a dot invoke function, which should be, yeah, so the dot invoke function is here, and that basically calls the agent. So here I've defined a query, which I'm going to take as an input. Enter your vacation planning query, which is over here, and then you get the raw response. And that raw response is parsed using the parser that we had defined above. And that's how you're going to get the output. So time to test it all out. That's all this was. Very simple template. And now here I'm going to say something like, hey, um, hi, give me travel plans for Mexico. My budget is about 4,000 Canadian dollars, and I want to go for 4 days. Do some research No, research spelling is wrong. Research on food, places to visit, and activities. Lastly, I want you to save this research into a text file. I'm gonna hit enter. So if you see my previous, I think last to last video, you'll notice that I had a very similar prompt, but I did not add this part saying save it into a text file. And it actually did not save it into a text file. But in this case, I have said that I want you to save it into a text file. I have explicitly mentioned it. So this time, my Agentic AI, it made sure to also call the save to text tool along with the other tools. And here you can see you have a research output.txt. This is the research output with timestamp with the entire itinerary here, with day, activities, food to try. It's doing everything. It is so beautiful. It's fantastic. So it does all of that, and it also gives me the output in the structured response that I want, like this JSON output over here. So basically, that's about it for this video. Um, what I wanted to say is the reason for why we want a structured response is you can actually create multiple structured responses like this, save it into a database, and then you can do so much more with that data, right? If you have information on like structured responses or like this, then you can feed it, you can show it in your front end of your full stack application. You can save it in your database, you can query it over there, you can do a lot of visualization over there as well. So, many things you can do over there. So yeah, this was about the AI vacation planner agent. So I have a GitHub. It's on my GitHub as well. I'm going to throw in the link. So I hope it helps everyone. Okay, thank you, and see you sometime later. Bye.